There is a shadow hanging over the Middle East. It's this source of global anxiety that's been simmering for more than 20 years now. Today, we're telling the story of Iran's nuclear program and the incredibly high-stakes global confrontation that it's created.
And really, it all boils down to this one central question, doesn't it? The one question that has defined Iran's relationship with the rest of the world. Is its nuclear program just a legitimate search for peaceful energy, like Tehran has always insisted, or is it a secret quest for the ultimate weapon? It's that ambiguity, that uncertainty, that keeps everyone on a knife's edge.
You see, for Iran, this program is absolutely central to its entire geopolitical strategy, but for most of the world, it's seen as a direct threat to global stability. And this standoff, well, it's been quietly unfolding for 2 long decades. And what a turbulent 2 decades it's been. The story really kicks off in the early 2000s, when the world first found out the program even existed. That immediately set off alarm bells, which led to UN sanctions by the middle of the decade. Then in 2015, a huge diplomatic breakthrough, the Iran nuclear deal, the JCPOA. It felt like a moment of hope, but just 3 years later, the United States walked away. And by the 2020s, Iran's enrichment levels hit terrifying new highs. It's just been this constant cycle of crisis and very, very fragile peace. But to really understand what's going on, you have to try to see this from Tehran's perspective. I mean, what is driving this relentless ambition? Why would they be willing to put up with crippling sanctions and global isolation for so long? The answer, if you boil it all down, comes to a single word: deterrence. From the regime's point of view, it is the ultimate insurance policy. It's this deep-seated belief that if you have a weapon so powerful, no one will ever dare to attack you. And you can really see their strategy playing out here. For Iran's revolutionary government, a nuclear capability is the #1 guarantee of survival. It's a powerful symbol of national pride in the face of incredible pressure. And, let's be honest, it's a clear path to becoming the dominant power in the region, a way to finally counterbalance its 2 biggest rivals, Israel and the United States. But of course, that is only one side of the story. Because where Iran sees ambition and security, the rest of the world sees a profound danger. And it has drawn its own very firm red lines. And this slide just lays the core conflict bare. On one side, you have Iran framing this as its legitimate right to energy and self-defense. But the international community, they see a secretive, untrustworthy regime trying to build weapons of mass destruction. These 2 realities, they just can't exist at the same time. And this is the ultimate nightmare scenario. The single biggest fear is that an Iranian bomb wouldn't be the last one. It could set off a terrifying nuclear arms race across the Middle East, one of the most volatile regions on Earth, as rivals like Saudi Arabia might feel they have no choice but to build their own bombs in response. It was that exact fear that led to one of the biggest diplomatic efforts of our time, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, or JCPOA. It was this fragile, incredibly complicated attempt to pull everyone back from the brink of war. So how did it work? Well, at its core was a pretty simple bargain, even though it was insanely difficult to achieve. First, Iran agreed to strict, verifiable limits on its nuclear program. Second, in exchange, international inspectors were given unprecedented access to make sure they were sticking to the rules. And finally, in return for all that, the world would lift the crushing sanctions that had been strangling Iran's economy. Restrictions for relief, that was the deal. But that fragile peace, that momentary step back from the edge, it was about to be completely shattered. The clock on this entire crisis was about to be reset in the most dramatic way possible. The moment everything changed came in 2018. The United States, under a new government, just walked away. They pulled out of the agreement all by themselves. It was a decision that turned out to be catastrophic for the deal and instantly threw the crisis right back on the fire. And you can just see the result right here. Before the deal, Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium was high. But while the deal was active, it dropped way down as they complied. Then the US withdrew. And with the deal broken, Iran fired up its centrifuges again. And its stockpile, it didn't just go back up. It skyrocketed past anything we had ever seen before.
Okay, this brings us to probably the most important metric in this whole situation: breakout time. It's a simple concept, really. It's the amount of time it would take Iran to produce enough weapons-grade material for one single nuclear bomb.
And that time has shrunk dramatically. What used to be a calculation that we measured in many months, maybe even a year, is now measured in just weeks. That one change, from months to weeks, completely transforms the strategic situation. It takes away the time needed for diplomacy. It pushes the entire world into a state of constant high-alert crisis. Iran has never, ever been this close.
And this alarming speed has pushed one nation, in particular, right to the brink. For Israel, this isn't some distant problem. It is an immediate, existential threat. And the language coming from Israeli leaders could not be any clearer. An Iranian nuclear weapon is an existential threat, a red line that cannot be crossed. Now, that is not just diplomatic talk. For Israel, this is truly a matter of national survival. And this leads us to the unthinkable option. Because Israel views a nuclear Iran as a threat to its very existence, its leaders have said over and over again that they will act militarily to stop it. A preemptive strike is a constant, looming risk, and an action like that could very easily ignite a devastating, full-scale war across the entire region.
And so the world remains on edge, watching this shadow get longer and darker. The options are stark, aren't they? A new path for diplomacy, a dangerous game of deterrence, or a military confrontation with unimaginable consequences. The choices made in the very near future will decide if this 2-decade standoff can finally be put to rest, or if that nuclear shadow finally falls for good.
At Geotectonics, our mission is to uncover these profound tectonic shifts, offering clarity in a world of complexity. If this analysis deepened your understanding, please like this video to support our work, share it with others who seek real insight, and subscribe to Geotectonics to ensure you never miss our next deep dive. We'll continue to explore the crucial geopolitical movements that define our time. Thank you for joining us.